Well, the last cart's being put into position. The marshal indicates towards the lights, and we will get heat number 2 underway. Stuart Neal versus David Story on the front row of the grid. The green light is shown, and it is a very good getaway from the second place car of David Story. It looks like he's jumped into the lead. Yes, cuts across the nose and takes the lead into the first corner. And it looks like Darren Johnson managed to follow him through as well. No, actually, it's Richard Molden there in car number 4. And Molden going for the lead now with a very good run out of the first hairpin, and Molden leads. Coming out of the second hairpin up towards the S's, you'll be able to spot Molden with the lime green helmet. He's pulling a few cart legs. Spanner's ready, already up into third place as well. He's chasing after the pole sitter, Stuart Neal, as they head towards you, Chris.
Yeah, and Spanners looked to the inside, but nothing was doing there. Molden got a little bit of a poor exit. They're coming down to my blind spot at the bottom corner. We'll see who comes out ahead. And Molden is off. He's off. Spanners has gone into third. Now second place as they're coming up to you, Chris, up the hill.
Oh wow, it's a gaggle of cars fighting for second place. At the moment, it's actually Sam Watley who has emerged in the lead in all of that and has quite a few cart lengths over Spanners, but I dare say Spanners is going to do something about that straight away as they head down into the first hairpin. And in third place there, it is Martin Bainon, who started in 11th place. So we've really seen a few swap arounds on that opening lap as down at the first hairpin, Dan Dudman facing the wrong way, but it looks like Spanners has caught up to Watley already as they come towards you, Chris.
Yeah, he's under pressure here. Spanners keeps tucked in right underneath him. He's got to the inside, down to the bottom corner, and Spanners is ahead into the lead of the race. That's made Mrs. Spanners very happy. Yeah, he's coming back up the hill. He is in first place with Watley in second, and then we have Bainon still in third.
I don't think Watley's going to take that standing down. He's coming back at Spanners already and is getting into the slipstream down the pit straight into the first couple of corners. And nothing doing at the moment. I think Spanners just going to try and stretch his legs there and ease towards victory. But Watley is going to be hot on his heels.
He is. Watley's got to make it count now, Chris, because once Spanners gets out of some clear air, I think he will have this race. So he's got to see if he can make it this lap. He is not close enough this time coming round. We've got another spin into turn 1.
It was very close as they started the lap, but Spanners already stretching his legs out in the lead and starting to create a bit of a safety gap to Sam Watley there. So the question is, can Martin Bainon in car number 11 do anything about that?
And let's not forget, all of these positions that they make in these heats have a crucial play on the final because it determines your grid position. So anything Spanners can get will be good for him. Paddy McKegney getting very close there, Chris.
Yeah, no, Ryan Sedgwick leading the battle for 4th place at the moment, ahead of Paddy McKegney and Colin Ward. So that is a recreation of many kart dramas and iRacing battles that we have seen over the years. Ryan Sedgwick in kart number 14, the All Black, leads that battle at the moment, and down the inside goes Colin Ward trying to get up alongside. I don't think he quite managed to do it. No, he didn't, because Paddy McKegney managed to hold on to that 5th place spot as they come down the hill.
Then he goes to the inside on Ryan Sedgwick, and I think he's made, just about made the move stick there side by side still. I think he's closed the door, very slammed that one shut, Chris. Here comes Spanners up the hill.
Ryan Sedgwick, no slouch in a kart, has been gathered an awful lot of experience over the years, so it's as you were in that battle for 4th place. Sedgwick actually just stretching clear of the 5th and 6th place cars of Paddy McKegney and Colin Ward. Are they going to start to do battle now as they head down towards the first hairpin? Paddy McKegney, you can spot there with the very bright colours. He goes a bit wide out of the first hairpin. That gives Ward a bit of a run, and he lunges up the inside and forces Paddy McKegney out wide. They're side by side as they come through the S's. McKegney not giving this one up, and he reclaims the position. Very nicely done.
He has reclaimed it, and he's actually got a good tight line, although he does get a little bit squirrely under braking, but that is move done, Chris. Although he actually got up on the curb, he's got a very poor exit. He could be under pressure coming up the hill.
These two started side by side on the grid. They've made their way through the order together and are now doing battle for 5th place and very much costing themselves time to Ryan Sedgwick, who is closing up on a podium position. But meanwhile, that battle for 5th place is very close indeed as they head through the first corner. McKechnie still leads Ward. Ward is no stranger to a battle as he gets very out of shape under braking for the first hairpin. Just a little too eager on the left foot there, and that has cost him a couple of kart lengths to Paddy McKechnie. Meanwhile, Ryan Sedgwick in kart number 14 closing up on that battle for 4th place just ahead of these guys.
Up at the front, we've got Spanners now with a almost 3.5 second lead over Sam Watley, and then Martin Bainall in 3rd place.
Yeah, Spanner's doing an incredible job just to ease clear of this fight. Comes past me now. Has a little look at the timing board as well. Cheeky little check to see what his margin is. Fantastic. And Ryan Sedgwick now right with the 2 cards in front of him now, because Bainott has closed in on Watley and Sedgwick's closing in on both of them as well. So Sedgwick is not through trying to get into the top 2 here. As out a little wide there was Bainott through the first hairpin, allows Sedgwick to draw alongside. He goes all the way around the outside. Can he? No. Bainott shows him the door on the exit of the corner. But with just over 4 minutes remaining in this one, and Sedgwick gets a great run out of the S's. Couldn't quite get up the inside of Sam Sweet though.
He's trying to make a move to the inside. Down he goes. Under braking, he has made the move stick nice and clean. That's game over, Chris. There's 2 of these guys who are going to make it onto the podium, and one of them is going to be unhappy at the end of the day.
They certainly are. So who is it going to be? Watley, Bainott, or Sedgwick? Don't count out any of them. Something could happen to Sedgwick. Watley pulled out a nice little gap there while Sedgwick was making his move for 3rd place. And with 3.5 minutes remaining on the clock, that could just be enough to keep him onto the podium placings. Through the first hairpin we go. Bainott running out a little wide again there, kicking out the back end, and is now actually at risk of falling into the clutches of Paddy McKechnie and Colin Ward, who are still doing battle for 5th place, but the battle for 2nd place comes through the S's. Now Sedgwick closing in on Sam Watley.
He is, and the worry for Watley is he's no longer got a rear gunner. He hasn't made it through this time, but he's definitely sizing him up. Watley looks behind him. He's definitely worried about that guy coming up behind. He's like a shark, Chris, all over his tail.
Certainly is. 5 seconds is Spanner's advantage now out to the front of the field, and Sedgwick is looking for every which way he can past that number 5 kart for 2nd place. 2.5 minutes remaining on the clock. Sedgwick taking a much wider line on the entry into Conway's, the first corner, and that gives him the line into hairpin 1, smooth under braking, and that is a textbook manoeuvre on how to overtake at Buckmore Park. And just behind them, the battle for 4th place has really hotted up, because Bainott has lost out to both Ward and McKechnie, and I think Ward has finally got the move done on McKechnie as well. So Ward, I think that puts him up into 4th place now.
It does indeed, and Bainott is desperately trying to get back, squabbling for position there. He lost some momentum though coming down the hill, so I think that's him out of that battle as well, and he's got to be careful not to lose even more places and frustration, because he got a poor exit, and it looks like the guy behind, who is going to be Vivek Bala, making good progress through the field. He looks like he's menacing up behind him as well, Chris.
Well, we haven't mentioned Vivek Bala yet, but there he is in kart number 13, now looking at the back of Bainott as we enter the final couple of minutes of this heat number 2. Sedgwick commanding in 2nd place there, Watley comfortably 3rd, and I think Ward comfortably in 4th place as well, as we've got a bit of side-by-side action coming out of the first hairpin. That looked like Bainott losing a spot, but takes it straight back into hairpin 2. Very nicely done, didn't take that line down at all.
Absolutely, got to get your elbows out around here, Chris. There's a lot of hairpins that are quite slow, and you have to be able to just close off the door as people make lunges. And it looks like Spanner's coming to you, has now lapped a couple of drivers, so he'll be very pleased with his pace today. And now 6 seconds ahead of Ryan Sedgwick.
Yeah, he's really stretching the advantage now. Sedgwick and Watley come past me in 2nd and 3rd place. Ward and then McKechnie and the kart number 13, which is Vivek Bala. So he's definitely made up a spot over Martin Bainott, is now into 6th place. It's just starting to spread out ever so slightly in these lead groups.
It's Martin Bainott and Greg Gomez through the hairpins are having a bit of a battle there, Chris. They're not settled over their positions yet.
They certainly aren't. Ballard comes past me down towards the side to sweep, and yeah, as you mentioned, Gomez trying to find a way through as well. 8th place at the start of the lap. So the last lap board has just gone out to Richard Spanners Ready, out in the lead of this one by nearly 6 seconds. Ryan Sedgwick did just take a little bit of time out of Spanners' advantage on that last lap, but it's far too late for him to be doing anything about that 6-second deficit that he has of Spanners. Just lapping a bit more of the traffic now, and this has been a textbook drive from Richard Spanners Ready, as indeed it has been from Ryan Sedgwick as well in 2nd place. Just had a bit more traffic to get through as well, but Spanners on his final lap coming up towards you, Chris.
He is. He looks silky smooth and just making the car dance through the apex there. He looks in command of this race. Let's see if he can keep that up when he gets into the heat of death.
Yes, certainly more heats and finals to come. But so far it is going to be a first victory of the day for Richard Spanners Ready as he comes across the line. A dominant performance, 6 seconds clear of Ryan Sedgwick, who will take 2nd place. And Sam Watley will put himself onto the podium placings as well as he takes the checkered flag ahead of Colin Ward. Not by much in the end, only just under a second between them. Paddy McKechnie took 5th place there ahead of Vivek Bala, Gregoire Gomes and Martin Bainon. That was the top 8. Harvey Bradley Holt made his way up to 9th place in the end. And the 10th place car was Richard Molden, who was leading in the early stages of the race on the first lap, and he crosses the line in 10th place.